Hello, this is Cuckoo. I have a new album and it's coming out very, very soon. And I'm going to tell you the whole idea behind the album and behind the live set that it's based on, and about the story that I conjured up into existence when I created the live set visuals. And here we go. So, in the beginning, I wanted to make like a full-on FM synthesis soundtrack that sounded like a video game, and that's what I set out to do. I was thinking about all the cool old games from the 90s that I really loved, stuff that had a big implication on me as a musician later on in life. And yeah, I was thinking about shoot 'em up games, like really gnarly soundtracks in the more electronic rock kind of music, and then thinking more about beat 'em ups in the more electronic kind of house and electronic experimental music that you could see in games like Streets of Rage, Bare Knuckle, and games like that, especially shouting out my favorite composer, Yuzo Koshiro of the Sega Mega Drive era. He had a great impact on the way I think about music and sounds. Yeah, so having all of these ideas in mind, I wanted to create a live set with only those kinds of sounds. So I tended to the Digitone by Electron and made song after song after song. And because I grew up in the 90s with the Sega Mega Drive as kind of my holy grail, the soundtracks that I made, they kind of led themselves towards this kind of old school game soundtrack, and I liked it so much that I just continued to go with it and think about, yeah, this song here, that could be an intro song, this could be a little story element, this could be like a beat 'em up scene, this could be a boss fight, and thinking about the whole album in terms of making a soundtrack for a game. But there was no game, so for a long time I was calling the whole project almost a game soundtrack, and that kind of goes hand in hand with my older album, I'm Not a DJ, and the other album, Not Pop. And so this could go hand in hand with that, like almost a game soundtrack. But I didn't really like it that much. I wasn't very attached to that song, that kind of title for the set. But as time went on, it grew into this live set, and I played a whole live set on YouTube, posted it there. Many of you have watched it, so thanks for that. And then I had a little break from it. Okay, that was a nice live set, moving on. And then at some point I was invited to play a show at the Animation Film Festival, and that's where I was thinking, okay, let's take the set and create visuals for it. And with visuals, I come from an animation background, so I think about storytelling, but when making visuals for music, I think storytelling can sometimes get in the way of the actual music and live experience. If it's too much storytelling, you will tell people are watching a movie and they just stand there and watch a projection and watch a movie. And I've done visuals a lot in my previous years before I started with YouTube, so I kind of feel out the balance between when does it become a movie and when is it live visuals. So I wanted to stay on the live visuals spectrum with the visuals, but at the same time have like a little hint of a story. So taking this almost a game soundtrack, listening to all the songs, and thinking of what type of story and what type of game could this be. And it eventually led me into this idea of telling a story about two androids. And I'm thinking about an android as a part human and part robot, part artificial intelligence, part human emotions, part human brain, but part artificial brain. And having this idea, what about two real androids in a distant future? I'm thinking of Tokyo as my backdrop for this. And what would a world be like where androids walked among us? Would they have rights just as us humans? Would they have the same rights? Would they have different rights? Could they be allowed to love? Or is that like a big no-no? And thinking about all these things, and also with this kind of action-packed music that I made, I was conjuring up a story about two androids falling in love in a world in a distant future where this is totally not allowed because of the implications that could go out of hand. And so humans are controlling androids and punishing them, shutting them down if they ever find out that they actually fall in love and form bonds that look like human relation bonds. But the androids are very, very advanced, and they are just as capable of feeling emotion as us humans. And they eventually find each other. They form bonds, but very, very secretive, because they know if the government finds out, they'll be shut down. So in this little story, I created these two characters, and I wanted to go for something without gender. I'm thinking about these androids. Do they have genders? I don't know. They probably don't, but since humans make them, maybe they make them into genders, but maybe they don't actually have genders, but they can take on any gender or be genderless because they're androids. Or maybe they inherit a little shadow of a gender from their previous human body or human parts. And I was thinking, okay, these two android robots, they fall in love, they keep it secret, and the whole movement of androids falling in love has been a topic among androids, and they have learned how to communicate in secret with each other, because they are a special breed of creatures. They can communicate in a level where we humans cannot really follow them. We humans, we are biological beings, and we have a natural way of processing and communicating. Computers are totally binary, it's 0 and 1. So any computer language is based on very conventional either or states. And I was thinking of the androids being more of a mix between the two, a mix of computer and a mix of non-computer biologic. And then thinking like, how could they come up with a way of communicating? And then I was thinking, it's a non-binary language. It's not a binary language that computers speak to each other, and it's not a human language that we speak, but it's a very deeply complex encrypted language that is non-binary, and as in not 1 and 2. They're basically walking quantum computers, and they came up with their own non-binary way of communicating with each other, so that they can go undetected from humans. Humans, however, and their computers, they have picked up on this. They can't decrypt it, it's too complex for them. But there is a race of who can decrypt or understand this non-binary language first, and because they can't prove anything right now. However, these two main characters, they fall in love, they get caught somehow, and one of them gets arrested or captured, and the one getting captured is sending out some non-binary alert to their companion, saying basically don't come and rescue me because we're both gonna go down, and sending the last kind of goodbyes through a non-binary message. And then after some time, of course, they want to go rescue the partner, so they go downtown, and that's where these more action-packed songs start to play. Go downtown to get upgrades for their bodies their body to get ready for taking on the big organization that actually captured the partner. And I had an idea of having actually very very like actual scenes of this, but as I created the visuals, I kept it more in the background, so that the story in the final piece of the visuals in my live show, it's not really there. I would have liked to maybe put a little bit more story in there. It's not really there in the visuals, but I needed this framework to actually create the visuals, and it made it much simpler and more, it made it more meaningful to have this backstory in my head while creating the visuals. Anyhow, towards the end, I wanted like some sort of boss fight where the upgraded android is coming to rescue the other one, and the other one is a bit more devious and poisonous, maybe have some secret poisonous needles and stuff. So they both have like secret upgrades, and they both, the one coming for the rescue is taking on a big fight, almost gets destroyed. The other one manages to escape with the help of the partner. They come together, and then there's like the super last boss fight where they both fight together with the organization, and they kind of blast, both sides blast each other to pieces, and it looks like a bad ending, but by the end, the androids, just blown into pieces, start to repair themselves, and slowly, piece by piece, they come together and they can start living again. And the evil boss of the evil organization, well, representing people in this case, and is on the verge of dying, and the androids, they offer to make them android to kind of save their lives, which is a kind of a taboo, because it's sort of against the organization to become androids, but wanting to save their own skin, they accept, and then they become androids, all of them. So that's the whole story of the album, the visuals, the whole package of the whole idea. And I don't know what to say more, but the album is coming up very, very soon. I have set a date of 3rd of May as the release date, so if everything goes right, the 3rd of May, check it out in your calendar. And playing bits and pieces of the album in this video, I think you can recognize some of the songs if you've heard it before. And I'm planning to go on a small launch tour or release tour, and it's going to be very small in very select number of venues in northwest of Europe. More on that very soon. So look forward to to the release of the album. I'm looking forward to it. It's been a while since I released a proper album, and I'm so happy I found a good mastering engineer. It's a big shout out to them for mastering the album. I'm gonna disclose all the details as we get closer to the release. Yeah. Anything else? No, I don't think so. It probably is, but catch you soon with a new album. Yeah, one more thing. Currently, I can't afford to order vinyls, so the vinyl release will be after the summer. I will order it soon, I hope, when I kind of set aside the money to order my vinyls. And I have a small request. The album is going to be longer than what fits on one vinyl. It's going to be about 53 minutes long. An album can typically be in the 40s, 45 maybe. So I'm asking you, would you rather have a double vinyl with the full album, or should I select, make selection of some songs and cut out some other songs? And if I make a selection, should I make it kind of a balance, or should I go more for the action-packed, or should it be like a mix of the action-packed songs and some of the kind of slower songs, story-based songs? Question for you. Let me know in the comments below. Cool. See you around very soon. More to come very soon. Peace out, everyone.